Alex has been wanting to visit this station since season 1, so here we are at last.
Hello everybody, welcome to Series 4, Episode 2 of the Hidden London Hangouts, Kentish Town, with a bit of a difference. There is a lot of a story to tell today. We're talking supermodels. No, not me, but we are talking about some amazing things that are made of building blocks that resemble the tube. I'm not doing this alone. I've got 3 amazing people from the London Transport Museum to guide us through this barrel of fun. First of all, Chris Nix from the London Transport Museum. You had a bit of fun down there at the Acton Depot, didn't you?
I did, yeah. It's a heck of a title to live up to, this one, isn't it, Supermodels? But I'm quietly confident we will. You're looking well as well, Alex.
Thank you very much. I've still got my stubble. You've not. You've removed yours.
I have. I just felt a little shaggy and that it was time to get the sun properly on the face while it was briefly out in the summer.
Mr. Lover will have his beard back in good time. Siddy Holloway, you're looking gorgeous as well, straight off the telly.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, hoping for some sun this week because it's been a bit torrential here in the UK, hasn't it? But I'm very well, thank you. How are you, Alex?
I am good, ready and eager to continue Series 4 of the Hidden London Hangouts, and Laura Hilton Brown is with us as well. Laura, busy time for you as well. There's tours going on with the museum and everything else. You're loving it, aren't you, Ish?
I am. It's, you know what, it's super busy, but we're getting Kingsway up and running. And there's nothing like doing a tour from inception through to delivery and kind of being part of that whole process. It is tiring and frustrating, but it is fantastic. It's why we do what we do as a team. Excited about today. I've got my colours on to reflect all the lovely colours of the bricks. I'm very excited. We are a big household that enjoy the theme of today.
I love this. Now, this is a 2-part episode, if you like. There's 2 halves to this because we're model making in the first half, and then I've got a surprise for the team in the second half, and I absolutely swear they have no idea what's about to happen. So I am hugely excited about this. I know they're going to be excited when they know. But as I say, the supermodel bit is really cool because when you're a kid, I'm sure we all played with Lego, and it always makes me smile when we see grown adults still playing with it, because it just shows how much fun you can have. There's all different bits and bobs you can do. Some of it's really technical, some of it's kind of more basic and stuff like that, but it's all good fun. And we've got a playmate with us today who is a bit of a model maker himself. Ben Apps lives right at the end of the Metropolitan line, and he makes stuff out of Lego. And we can cross direct to his Lego studio in his house that his wife clearly loves. Ben, are you there?
I am. Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
This is good. Now, you're in the room where you house all of your Lego. What have you got in there at the moment? What gems?
So this used to be my my eldest son's bedroom because it's a nice big double room. But the Lego kind of took over, so now he's in the cupboard under the stairs. And this is where the Lego lives.
Wow. So what have you got? What models?
Well, we kind of have a display wall here, which is...
Look at that.
Roses.
So we've got a huge roller coaster up there. We've got this is Big Benny.
Yeah, you're Ben though, aren't you? So this is your Big Ben, right?
Well, that's Big Benny. I don't know if you're familiar with the Lego movies.
No.
There's a certain spaceman character from the 1980s.
Love you.
Anyway,
love you, but I've not seen it.
Everything is awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That relates to him.
I feel really lost now. But the only person who's not watched the Lego movie.
We've got some space characters here.
Oh.
And then on the opposite wall is really the inventory where we've just got tub of bricks.
Is that literally drawers full of bricks?
Yeah, from floor to ceiling. Yeah.
Don't show Chris Nix. He's got a
Alex,
workshop.
I have to confess that ship has already sailed because about 15 years ago, I was in charge of setting up the Inspire Engineering program at the museum. And we did a lot of our learning tools using Lego. So at Acton, we've got an enormous collection, particularly of Technic Lego and City Lego for doing demonstration stuff. So I built a signal demonstrator out of Lego, and we had a crack at making the spiral escalator that we have at Acton.
Out of square bricks. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, crikey. Amazing. Siddy, you're a bit less happy about the whole Lego situation in your life because you didn't have anyone to hand them down to as the youngest sister, did you?
Well, I'm a middle child. Sorry,
Oh.
I'm not the youngest. No. I've got an older sister and a younger sister, and my older sister wasn't really into Lego or didn't get bought it or whatnot. I think my older cousin was into Lego, but she really wasn't. And as a middle child, and particularly in the 90s, you will understand that I basically just played with whatever I got handed down from my sister. So I didn't really have much Lego when I was growing up. Not to say that I don't like it, it's just that I just didn't have much of it, to be honest.
Some of us are still playing with hand-me-downs now. Good stuff. So what we need to do today is have a look at some of the models that appeared at Acton Depot, because they're all sort of tube related, or at least train related. It's all pretty cool. And Chris got exceptionally excited about what he saw on Saturday. So we just want to show you some of these to give you an idea of the cleverness that you can come up with if you just have building blocks. And Chris, talk us through the first one, because we will come to Ben's offering at the very end, because we think this is, well, I mean, I'd like to say it's a pièce de résistance. We've got to kind of be nice to him because he's with us. But it's what we think we should do is start off with, I think this is called Brickley Cross. See what they did there?
It is. So you may recognize the style of this. This is a layout by David Tabner, who coordinated the group of people bringing the models along.
Ooh.
Look at that.
That is, I mean, seriously, I was a bit cheeky about all of this, but that looks good there. Look at the guy. That's a proper Charles Holden jobby, isn't it?
It is. And bonus points for the roundel flagpoles, of course. And it's not based exactly on one particular station, but as you say, you can see the Charles Holden influences alive and well in it, can't you? That sort of big rising block in the front there with the glazed blocks, reminiscent of somewhere like Acton Town, in fact. Maybe a bit of one of the Sudbury stations built into it.
Yeah, beautiful. And also the roundel shaft, if you like. I presume that's a Darth Vader lightsaber that's been remodeled there. Do we think that could be
Maybe
that?
Ben could help us on the which.
Well, you've got the kind of the nose cone of a space rocket there. The kind
Of course you have.
Conical bit underneath. Yeah, and then I think actually the very top, the very pointy bit above the roundel is actually a knight's lance.
I wasn't that far wrong, was I? Oh my God. Right, okay. This is excellent.
One of the things, though, is you kind of see the station and then you realise, of course, the trains. Lego haven't made a model of a tube train. I think I'm right, aren't I, Ben? They've never done a model.
Yeah,
of a tube.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah. And so if you want one, or indeed any type of London train, you have to make it. So they do make trains, but we have to start constructing from scratch the actual rolling stock, and you can see there the wider view with the signal box off to the left of the station, the platforms behind, and some of the rolling stock.
I absolutely love that. Siddy, would you do me a favour? Just because we'd like to educate and inform, if I could say it, educorm, as we now call it. Charles Holden, give us a very 30-second potted history of Charles Holden, the architect.
Oh my gosh. So Charles Holden is one of the, the pillars of London Underground architecture. He got commissioned in the early 20s to remodel Westminster Station, and Frank Pick loved his work so much that they started kind of a brilliant working relationship. And today there are over 50 different stations on the London Underground that are designed by Charles Holden, as well as the former headquarters of the London Underground called 55 Broadway.
She's amazing. This is why we love her so much, because this isn't planned. As you can tell, this is chaos. And we just throw it at her, and then she just runs with it. She's amazing. Laura, what do you reckon? As a Charles Holden station, it's pretty cool. Isn't it? Oh, look, London Overground's arrived. That's incredible, isn't it, Laura? Look at that. I mean,
I love the shot that we just went to then as well. But just look at the detail in that. And I love the shot when you're looking at it from the front as well, because you've got the depot in the background and the buses, and then this really, really cleverly designed station. And I think that's a really lovely shot where you've got all of the different images in it as well. And I've actually got some Lego trains here as well that I wanted to share with you all. And I'm sure Ben has loads as well. But as I said before, we love Lego. And if Chris could just put the camera, can I put that on?
Let's unshare the screen then. Let's have you back in full size.
Can you see this? So we have a city train. Obviously, these are all mechanical as well, so they do work. And we have 2 freight or cargo trains. So here's another one.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, we also, I think I mentioned before, we have a Harry Potter train that goes around our Christmas tree because that's how we roll. And we have one more.
That's almost like London Underground round on the front of that one, on the side of that one. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I see what So we have loads of Lego trains in this house. So this is right up my street. This is great, and I love it. I love it because it's timeless. Because with the whole lockdown situation in the past year, my kids fall, into the trap of devices and gaming and, all of the kind of contemporary modern, games that kids can play. But during lockdown, these were built and we went back to Lego as a whole household. And I absolutely loved that. I love how timeless it is. And I love how every age group can get involved in it as well. My daughter does as well. It's not just my son. So we all, choo-choo in Casa Brown, love a Lego train.
Oh, amazing.
One of the things that I really liked about it, from using it at work with school children to inspire them to want to take on engineering as a career, is there's something about Lego. When you walk up to it, you just kind of assume that you're going to be able to do it and understand it because it is that thing that you've played with since a child. And so you can actually use it to demonstrate some incredibly difficult concepts, and people will give it a chance when they walk up and not be put off by it. And if you made it out of just about anything else, if you scratch built it, people would walk up and go, oh, that looks a bit technical and a bit complicated. But because it's a toy, people will walk up and expect to be able to understand whatever you're using it for, in my view. And so it's incredibly useful for that. The other thing I like you've shown there, Laura, is those model trains that you can buy as a kit are what are used for the basis of what I'm going to show you now, which is a piece of video of this station actually working with the trains coming round. So stand by.
Bing bong, platform 1.
Oh, look at that.
Love it.
Do you know what? By scale, that train's probably doing about 200 miles an hour, isn't it? It would be really quite cool. Really quite cool if look at that, crikey, the speed of that.
That's fast.
Wowzers.
That's a non-stopper.
You'd definitely get the piston effect with that, wouldn't you? Heavens.
I wonder why we are so fascinated and drawn to miniature miniature models of things. I wonder what psychologically that's all about.
Because big is scary, Siddy, as we know.
I think it makes us feel powerful.
Yeah.
That would be
You're in control of everything.
The other thing that's really good about Lego is the number of expletives you can say in one breath if you tread on it with bare feet.
Oh, it's painful. I'm with you on that.
It's like, when you're in a hotel room and you fall on your own plug of the hairdryer or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing, isn't it? Square pin plugs and Lego. What a thing to tread on. That's beautiful.
When Cindy was saying earlier that she hadn't been a big fan of Lego as a child, I assumed it was some terrible standing on it in the middle of the night injury that had put her off it.
Yeah, I love the fact they've still got, look at the high-vis vest on the Lego men.
I know, it's the detail, isn't it? It's fantastic.
Amazing.
Just to say, the range of rolling stock there is great. So you've obviously got your overground train in the foreground. That blue one is a transplant, a works train with ballast wagons behind it. And then you've got a tank engine like would have served on the Metropolitan line back in the days of steam over in the background. So it's just great. The attention to detail.
Show us Rectory Lane, because I think we need to see how these efforts have been transplanted across the Acton depot.
See what you did there. Nice little segue. So here we go. And here's Andy.
He looks very proud of his work, doesn't he?
Oh, he is. That's great.
Love that.
Andy does work for Transport for London,
Fabulous.
particularly in signalling, which will become apparent as we go. But I've got a question for you. We have an anybody. Which station is that modelled on? Anybody?
Acton. Is it
Is it
Acton?
Acton?
Oh,
Me,
or could it be West Kensington? No.
No.
Well, it's definitely a Holden station, isn't it?
For me, it's a cross between Acton Town and with a bit of Rayners Lane chucked in.
It is indeed. I've got it in the wrong order, but if I just zip through, there you go.
Oh.
Do you remember what we saw
yes.
in Metroland?
Yeah, because I thought we'd been there.
Yeah. So yeah, there is a bit of Acton, but there's it's mainly Rayners Lane. So do you want to see this one working?
Yeah, go on then. Give us a whiz of that. See how many 200 miles. Oh, look, it's a 59 there.
YouTube. There we go.
That's clever. Look at the old Northern or Central Line trains there. Look at that, the tube stop, the silver ones. That's
even
really clever.
Is that an 1898 bogie?
It is Sarah Siddons, in fact.
Yeah.
And the other one going round, Alex, you'll know what that silver one is.
That's a 56, 59 or 62, depending on
59,
what the lights look like on the front.
I
think you'll find.
And you will notice it's even got head code lights on.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
What you can also see here is that these little secret things built in underneath. Do you see underneath the road there? There's some people in either spacesuits or hazmat suits.
Yeah, is that
gonna
supposed
say
to be like Stargate or something?
With a creature underneath in the sewers.
He's even reflected COVID times where we're literally dressed in Tyvek coloured suits. Great.
So there you go. It's rather splendid. In the background, you might notice there's a Met 23 with some wooden-bodied.
Where's that? Oh, that's the little steam train there. The Met 23. Is it? Yeah, the back there with the brown and white coaches. Yeah.
So here's the close-up of the hazard situation going on underneath the road and the sewers.
And what are the worms coming out of the sewers?
Well, it's a creature that they're dealing with, and on the other side you can see some kind of space mining thing has broken through the foundations.
Wow.
Oh, so it's sort of Stranger Things vibes.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well done.
But
absolutely
his best
fabulous
thing is here. Now, what do we think that is?
It's a
Signal
box.
cabin.
Well done, excellent. It's a signal cabin on top of an interlocking machine room, or an IMR, and you guessed it, he's modelled both. So,
wow.
So there, it's like being back at Edgware Road, isn't it? That could be Charlie.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does look a little bit like Edgware Road.
Cup of tea on the go.
Got to have a cup of tea in a yellow Lego mug.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And
Phenomenal.
I of course asked the. Sorry, Laura, what was it?
Sorry, I'm literally just having I'm throwing lots of
Connections.
words out.
She's literally connecting.
I said, it's phenomenal. I love it. I just think this is brilliant.
Well, the reason that this is now set on the table is because I'd asked the question, so that red bit, the IMR, have you modelled that as well? So this is the bit where he lifted off the signal cabin. And yes, there you are. There's the inside of the interlocking machine room modelled, despite the fact you can't see it without lifting the lid off.
The time and the detail is just amazing.
Look at the sleepers on the tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
The centre rail and the fourth rail.
That's incredible.
But,
Did you notice?
but it's also the fact that Lego makes this, like you couldn't build some of this without the building blocks being made. So that's pretty extraordinary.
But I love the fact that it's all been reversioned. So there's I'm sure half the things in that interlocking room are parts of like a ship's tap or a spanner off a car or something like that.
I mean,
I'm sure.
I can see how Andy's been really inventive there. So on the left-hand side, after the three, red coloured contraptions, the one on the left that's black and grey, those are really just Technic connecting beams for, making like a Technic set and the axle of a car or something, and he's just used those brilliantly to demonstrate whatever piece of machinery that's supposed to be. But that's amazing.
It's like I was looking at what looked like cables connecting the conductor rails on the track in the top left and the top right. And I'm pretty sure those are pneumatic hoses out of a Technic set, aren't they, Ben?
That's right, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Incredible. Did you notice as well, the guy in the signal box had 8 partings in his hair? I want to go to that barber, because look at that. How many different cut marks are there in that hair? That is incredible.
Looks a bit like a basketball.
Yeah. That's what it is.
I'm giving full marks as well because I've got a telephone in there. I love a signal cabin telephone, as you know.
Absolutely.
And yeah, really
it's
great.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Lovely. Well done. We salute you. Third one, some bloke called Ben, isn't it? Who dat? Ben, tell us about your model. What you got?
So this kind of all started at the beginning of the pandemic. So I was at home in the evenings, obviously, couldn't really go out. And I started to work out how I could make the curved wall of a tube platform. So you can see at this kind of the bottom of the picture there, if you see where it meets the end of the tunnel, yeah, the wall is curved. And I think, well, how do you make curves with straight Lego bricks? And I don't know, should I tell you the secret?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a Lego brick, which is sort of this kind of thing. But then one third of that, the height, is this yellow one, which is called a Lego plate. So 3 plates make a brick. So the wall of the tunnel is made entirely from Lego plates, but at the back where you can't see it, I've put in a really little thin bit of paper so that it doesn't actually connect fully at the back, but it does at the front. And that means that each subsequent layer going on top leans forward ever so slightly, like a degree or something. And then as you build it up, you get this lovely, smooth, curved shape. So that's how I did it.
Do you know, I obviously, as you can tell, approached this episode with a kind of like, what are we doing this for? Do you know, I salute you. You are amazing. And model makers everywhere. I mean, I have to say, I had a model railway train set. I still do. I keep them all because they're beautiful. But you are doing phenomenal stuff with Lego. This is so, and the station itself, so the up on top surface, ground level, looks like a Leslie Green frontage. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've made some different underground stations over the years. I did the original 1863 version of Baker Street. Then I did the 1930 Chiltern Court Baker Street version. But I've always wanted to model a Leslie Green station, partly because Lego makes this lovely dark red color of brick, which matches the oxblood tiles perfectly. But the difficulty was the arches. So the arches on all at the front of the Leslie Green station, like on the first floor. Lego make arches, which is good. I'll show you some examples.
Can you zoom in, Chris, in the picture, just so that we can see that?
About as far as I can.
Oh man, it's so cool, isn't it? Look at that.
So Lego make nice arches like this, where you think, oh, well, that would be perfect. Unfortunately, they don't make them in the oxblood dark red color. So I thought, well, how can I do it? So I did a little bit of investigating, and there's some really good websites out there where you can buy specific Lego bricks that you want. And what I found is they made an upside down arch, like a quarter arch like that. But if you see the Lego stud, the connection is on top. So it's the wrong way up. I want an arch like that, but it's like this. So what I had to do building the front of that station was to work out a way to use, within Lego circles, this technique is called SNOT, which stands for studs not on top. So
do you know what? I'm so glad you explained that was about Lego. Good stuff. So how does it work then? So you glue it, do you?
No.
What? I don't know.
No. Oh, Alex,
just asking.
Immediately go and watch the Lego movie.
Just asking for a friend. So what do you do? You have to kind of have it made special, like, do you? No. It's right.
So the bottom of the pillars where they touch the pavement, those are Lego bricks the right way up.
Yep.
Then you have some Lego bricks which, as well as having studs on the top, they have studs on the side. You use that to connect it to bricks which have studs on the side, but you've mounted upside down.
Got you.
And then you can put on your upside down mounted brick, you can put the arch, and now suddenly it's the right way up.
Oh, you're clever.
But this is incredible though, because you've also got oculus windows. And
I think you can get the doctor to clear that up, can't you?
Do you know what I love here? I think we're in serious danger during the course of this show of having converted Cindy to Lego, and she's going to be out buying a box of it by this afternoon.
Or I could just admire your beautiful handiwork and come and take photos by it.
That's
Cindy,
great.
can I draw your attention to something in this that I've been admiring since I saw it? You know how Leslie Green stations have the fancy tile work?
Are you talking about the side brick?
Right, and as soon as you
know,
go around the side, it's just brick. He's even
that
done
is
that.
so nice.
But look at the platform tiles as well, guys. How
Yeah.
amazing Ben has replicated that tile pattern. That's amazing.
And here's the rub on this one, isn't it? Because the up on the ground level, you've modelled that on Russell Square, but downstairs, my favourite, Kentish Town.
Yeah, so the reason for that really was actually the platform was made first, and I love that dark red colour. And a lot of the stations on the Northern Line, Kentish Town, Camden Town, Chalk Farm, well, definitely Chalk Farm, Hampstead, yeah, have that lovely colour. But then when I built the surface, some of those stations, especially Chalk Farm with its kind of cheese wedge shape,
Flat iron style building.
exactly, and Hampstead is kind of built on a hill. I thought, oh, that's going to be a bit tricky. So I wanted a nice basic, and actually Kentish Town is a nice flat front, but I really liked the look of Russell Square. And then the interior detail inside the ticket hall, you can just see almost like a checkerboard there at just about head height.
Don't worry,
That has a lovely sand green color, which Lego actually do make a brick in that sand green. So so the ticket hall with Russell Square. But I think for a future project, I then want to make the actual genuine Russell Square platform, and then probably a genuine Kentish Town surface section as well. And I can run trains rather cheekily between a Piccadilly and a Northern Line station and have a Kentish Town and a Russell Square.
I think it's time, Alex, we actually had a look at this one moving, because there's more to this.
It moves.
Wow.
Just
It
what we're
moves.
seeing here. So let's bring it to life, shall we? So there we go.
I really salute you, Ben. It's so clever, really. Can I ask, by the way, what do you do in the real world? What do you do?
Well, I do also work for TfL. I work for London Underground, usually operationally, but I've been doing some, during the course of the pandemic, I've been on some secondments doing more sort of head office functions, but I do work for TfL, have done for 17 years now.
Do your colleagues know you do this?
They do. In fact, I was on a meeting last week, an online meeting, and the guy hosting the meeting, I didn't think I knew him, and he said, "Oh, hello, Ben. Do you remember me?" And I was like, "Oh, sorry."
Uh-oh.
And he said, "We met 8 years ago, and you showed us some of your Lego."
Oh,
You
that's so
remembered.
cute.
You did.
That's so cute. Do you know, I mean, I really am. Law, I mean, you've got 2 kids. What? This is off the scale, isn't it?
Yeah, I really admire, I truly admire just the level of precision and detail and thought process. Like that Ben's looking for these bespoke bricks to make the archway, and finds out that you can turn it around and the different levels of bricks, and it's so engineering focused. And going back to what Chris said earlier, in that essentially it's a toy from a young age, and then it changes, I think, as you grow older into kind of something different. But we've used this at team away days for icebreakers or team building exercises, and Lego is wheeled out for many of these, and there's a reason. It's because you can do it individually or you can do it as a team, and it makes you think about the start of a process, the middle and the end, and how you're going to get there. And engineering is very much about that. My other half is a mechanical engineer, hence probably why he loves Lego as well. And I was talking to, when we went to Knightsbridge and Chris and I did part 2, the lovely lady that was supporting us with some filming that day is on an engineering course as well, and happened to talk to her, and she loved Lego as a kid as well. Not that you have to do to be an engineer, but I think there's something really quite charming about how a toy can be a toy or something much more technical. And this combines it. These models combine just the fun element as well as the really technical and engineering element. And I am blown away by it, Ben. I think that the precision in this and the level of detail with the colour, I particularly love the tiling. It's really, really lovely to be a part of. And I'm so glad that the depot embraced that for their open weekends as well.
I'm quite bowled over by all of this, really. That is incredible. And Ben,
I love that you've got all the line colours showing
the rainbow board. I know it was.
I know.
And also that there's an abandoned coffee cup stuck on top of it, which is quite accurate.
It's just brilliant. A huge, great ticket, though. Can you imagine if the tickets were that big? Literally the size of like a lump of plywood, isn't it? It's incredible.
Yes, that is a ticket in my pocket. Yeah.
Amazing. I'm just very, very pleased to go to the train. This is great. Oh my goodness, look at that. There's your Chesham box.
Yeah, that's my pretty accurate model of the Chesham signal box. Luckily, I bought this a few years ago. I'm just going to reach up here in my Lego room. So when I moved to Chesham in about 2008, the signal box looked like this.
Ooh.
But then a few years ago, gladly, because it was actually getting into quite a serious state of disrepair, like part of the roof had fallen off and the windows were broken. But I think they got some money to restore it to its former glory and paint it in the Metropolitan Railway colours. But when they did that, my model no longer matched it, so I had to make another one.
I love that you've got them through the ages.
Yeah.
I almost want to see if I can get it painted another colour again, just to see if we'll produce a third one.
It's just fabulous. Listen, thank you so much for joining us, because look at it. I mean, seriously, look at it. I love as well, by the way, that you managed to get that sort of capture the slightly uneven tiling situation that we find on the central line platforms from yesteryear. Absolutely fantastic. Awesome work. Well done, Ben.
Ben, am I right in thinking that the person here is actually modelled on somebody from?
Yeah, that's actually the boss of my department. Wearing the face mask there. Yeah.
Well,
He looks a little bit like Siddy as well.
Just a bit, yeah.
And the final thing for anybody, Alex, is when I first met Ben, I was chatting to him. It's like, so where's this modelled on? He said, so where do you think that train shed is modelled on? Now, I thought about this for 1 second, got it right.
Is it the Beckerloo?
It is. Well
is
done.
It? Oh my goodness! My mate works there. Is it girls? It's not Harrow Wilson. It's much closer than that. Where do they turn them round? Queen's Park?
Well done. Yeah,
Queen's Park. Got there in the end. Sorry.
The south shed at Queen's Park. That's right.
Yeah, cool stuff.
As well as the amazing trains, which Ben has built using an old monorail kit. You can just see it's like a rack railway, which is how it can deal with the incredible angle of descent there. You see the vehicle on the right-hand side?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
It'd be an emergency response unit, would it?
Yeah. Made the day before you came, I think, wasn't it, Ben?
Yeah, so I saw that my surface bit of the layout was a bit bare. I needed some small road vehicles. So I grabbed an old Lego model of a dustbin van, a refuse truck, ripped the back off it, made it look like an old fire engine, and tried to change the colours to match the ERU. Yeah.
Do you know? Well, look, I'm a little bit fried now, to be honest. I feel quite tired after this. This is all too much, and I know what's to come. So I need to spare my energy for this. Ben, thank you so much for really entertaining us with just fabulous creativity. And it's so nice to know that even though we're all adults, we've been through some hell of a year with COVID and everything else, that we're allowed to show our creativity in other ways and have some fun and be kids as adults. I think it's probably the most wonderful things about being a grown-up, is that sometimes it's okay to be a kid again. Thank you. Chris, you're nodding away. I mean, you're a techie person.
This is right up my street. I love Lego. I love using it in this way, and it did its job. You should have seen the people that we had at the depot, children, adults alike, just crowded around these, and there were so many other models there as well. So it's a really popular one, and we will definitely have the AFL group back again. Adult fans of Lego.
Of course, it is AFL. Great. I want to lay down a bit of a challenge as well on this one, because we've seen what Lego can do, but I know that out there are a lot of people who've got model railway layouts modelled on the tube. And I think we should do an equivalent episode about your models and the stuff that you've done. And I know one person who is a regular fan of this is Underground Eric, and there is a beautiful, beautiful layout that he's put together. But there are loads of others, and we would love to showcase your work. So do me a favour, get in touch with us via DMs to any one of us, Siddy, Chris, Laura or me, and let us know what you've got and what you want to show off. And we will do the same for you, because I just salute creative model makers. You guys are the best. Ben, thank you very much. Stick around, because I think you might be quite impressed by what you're about to see. In series 2, I think it was episode 2, we did a whole episode on the Routemaster bus. Do you remember that, guys?
Yeah, one of my favorites. I loved it.
Yeah. Do you remember at the end of it, we had a request of the world, didn't we? The world. And we asked them if anyone had a bus that we could drive. I would like to make that happen, so that I can see how good or not my little 3 chums here are at driving a Routemaster. Well, the world delivered. Guys, meet Annesley now. Annesley owns a bus. How did this happen, Annesley?
Well, I've been rather obsessed with the London Routemaster ever since I was a child, and it was my dream when I was growing up, when they started being withdrawn from the streets, to actually have one of my own. I know it's bonkers, but I want to keep a memory going, as this is my nostalgia trip, and this is my way of keeping that memory alive.
This is just fantastic. This is RM357.
That's correct.
Do you know anything about the history of it?
What I do know is that this is one of the very few Routemasters that has retained its original body, B357, because what happened is when they got overhauled at Holden, most of the Routemaster bodies were separated from the chassis, and then a refurbished body from another bus will be popped onto the original chassis. That happened to this bus, but at some point the two got reunited in the 80s, because there was some enthusiast at Holden who spotted the two and wanted to bring them together. So this is one of, I think, one of two or three Routemasters with the original body.
Right, now, just to say, it's got the beautiful Routemaster moquette. It's lovely, and it's a stunning bus. I mean, this isn't even Fagnolia, the paint. This is proper yellow, isn't it?
That's right, this is the Sun Yellow. It was restored a number of years ago. I've kept the original seats. They're not perfect, but they are in the same condition as they would have been when it was in service up until the mid-80s. So these are genuine LT seats.
And tell me, what possessed you when you were watching the episode to think, I'll let 4 hoodlums drive my bus?
Well, to be honest with you, I was quite thrilled that you were interested, because I thought that you have access to so many vehicles at your disposal anyway. And I thought that if I can be of any help, and I love other people getting pleasure out of this, and especially through your projects with the museum, I'd be delighted to help.
Can I drive it?
Of course you can.
Amazing. So guys, we've got an opportunity to drive a Routemaster. Thanks to Annesley. We're going to do this. We're going to find a place to test drive this vehicle, and you're all going to have a go. I'm going to have a go now, which I'm really looking forward to. So guys, what do you think?
It's exciting. When's it happening?
As soon as you like. Siddy, you have driven every type of road vehicle known to man. Do you fancy driving a Routemaster?
Oh yeah, I'm really up for it. It'll be the first time I've ever driven a bus, I think, but I am well up for it.
Great stuff. Laura, what do you reckon?
Your surprises are the best. Never driven a bus. Very excited. A little bit disappointed you referred to us as hoodlums, though, as we're about to drive this man's precious vehicle. I'm very excited.
Let's check the bodywork afterwards before we decide whether or not we're hoodlums. There's one other thing, though, because we do have to sing for our supper slightly on this one. Take a look at this.
Yes, so as you can see, this is the bonnet number 357, RM357. And I would be really grateful if you could do me a favour, and that is, could you go into the LT archives and see if you can get any photographs of when this bus was in service, because I would love to see it in action.
It would be an absolute pleasure.
Oh,
so just to double check, we do a bit of research on RM357,
yeah,
and the 4 of us then get to drive it.
Absolutely.
This is the best deal in the world. And this is the cab, presume this is where I'm going to drive from.
Absolutely right.
Get in. Get in. So Siddy, Chris, Laura, you know that funny database we talk about? Can we do that?
Yeah, we'll flip a coin as to who's going to do it. Yeah, we'll have a look. I have to say that there is a principle that we have in the curatorial team that all vehicles that end up being preserved are the most camera-shy vehicles in the world. So we'll give it a look, but there might not be anything there.
I think I'll help you out because I'd like to do a bit of research on that vehicle because it was just such a beautiful thing. And finally, would you like to see, Siddy, how I got on driving it? So I'd like you guys to do the test that I did with it yesterday, because it's shockingly difficult, but I did it. Do you want to see it?
I do want to see it, but I don't want it to be difficult.
Yeah. I get a little bit nervous just because the only thing that I think of the double decker is that just because of the weight of the top of the vehicle, it freaks me out a little bit in terms of what the turning cycle is.
You've seen the tilt test, haven't you? You can literally get them over like that before they fall.
They won't tip. Trust me. When you see how I drove it yesterday, it didn't tip up. George, lovely George, gave me a bit of a reminder of how to drive a Routemaster, because if you've seen the previous episode about the Routemaster, you know I've done this before, but I haven't done it for a very long time, and I was quite nervous. So here's what happened. All right, driver. Are we ready? Indicate. Second gear. Whoa! Ho, 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 ho. Fun. It's quite an expensive BMW if you hit it, I presume. I think it's time for Annesley to have a go in his own bus. That would be quite fun. Annesley, I think it's time for you to have a go in your own bus.
Well, I'll do my best. I can't promise to be good at the beginning.
Now, are you happy with this? There's some tight bends.
I will do my best.
Good work. Am I in the back? Should I be the conductor?
Yes, go on then.
Good work. You get in there. That's good. A bit nervous. It's the first time I've driven this in quite a while, so this could be fun. And do you know what? I actually really admire him buying a bus and then just getting in it and driving it. This is incredible. What do you think then, guys?
100% in. Very excited.
Get in.
Challenge laid down, challenge accepted.
Sids, what do you reckon?
Yeah. I'm there, down, like
like a bus
Down.
driver on chips.
No. I was going to say something else, and then I stopped myself because I was like, "That is that offensive?" I can't remember. So I'm just saying, I'm down. I'm very
Good work. Good work. Lovely stuff. Well, there we go. Thank you so much, Annesley. We are taking you up on your offer. We will do the research on your bus, and it will make a lovely little episode, the history of your bus, and then all of us driving it. We've got one notes, queries, and questions just to say one of our lovely fans has done amazing things with tiles. Isn't that right, Chris?
It is, yeah. So Jennifer has recently bought some of the Sloane Square tiles from our shop and has had them framed. I think they look rather fab.
Gorgeous.
Grand stuff, beautiful stuff. Thank you very much indeed. We love it when people do nice things with bits and bobs of London Underground paraphernalia. Got all those tiles to come off at Knightsbridge as well, which is fantastic. First of all, thank you so much, Ben, for coming along and telling us all about the amazing stuff you do with Lego. We love you.
Thanks.
Gorgeous stuff. Thank you. Do come back again if you make something equally cool. Thanks to Tom for hanging off the side of a bus while I had a good old ride on it the other day. Laura Hilton Brown, thank you so much for bringing your family Lego history and life and love to the show today.
So cool to be able to show them as well. And I'm still thinking about how amazing it is that the concept of like adaptability and repurposing. I'm still kind of blown away by how it's making me think even more about Lego and how cool it is.
Show us that train again, just very quickly, that one that you just showed us.
City train.
Amazing. Well, just to talk about adaptability and repurposing, stick an element in it, it'll turn it into an electric iron. Siddy, God love you. We love your Playmobil love as well. Thank you for bringing your childhood back to life for us.
Thank you. I must say, you guys have certainly convinced me, and I'm thoroughly enamored with Lego now. And next time I'm at the depot, I'll definitely keep an eye out to see if I can spot Ben and his incredible creations.
Chris, I'll have to make a Siddy roundel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She'd love that. She can wear that on the telly box. And Chris Nix, thank you very much for being so technical and fabulous.
No, fabulous episode to do, and I just can't wait until they come back to the depot to future depot opening, because talking to all the people who brought models along, they're all saying, oh yeah, and of course by the time we come back next time we'll have rebuilt this and there'll be another thing on here, so I just can't wait to see what's coming next.
I absolutely love it. Thank you so much indeed. So keep the stuff coming. We've got a great place to go next week. It's Alex Grundon, Chris Nix, Siddy Holloway, Hidden London Law, and LT Museum on Instagram. If you've got any questions about what we do, suggestions for new episodes, just get in touch with us. You found us on YouTube because you're watching us. Thank you so much. The numbers are going through the roof. Make sure that below you like, subscribe, and comment with, again, questions and comments about the episodes. We love to hear from you, and we'll be reading the best ones out. In the meantime, have yourself a great day and stay safe.